What's up? This is Casey with another episode of The Show I Don't Have a Name For. Today's t-shirt of the day is an extra large I Heart Bali t-shirt from Bali and an extra large one size fits all hat also from Bali. I went to Bali for a vacation back in the middle of January, middle of February. Before all the coronavirus stuff really shut all the traveling down. Of course, now it's all shut down. I thought Bali was wonderful. If you don't know where Bali is, it's in Indonesia. If you don't know where Indonesia is, it's in Southeast Asia. If you don't know where Southeast Asia is, get a map. Sometimes you get such a big amount of people and you squish them into such a small space, like New York City or Seoul or London or any big city, and it starts to stink. Or just get gross or weird. I didn't really think Bali was like that too much. I thought it was crowded, but it's a huge area, a huge city or island. It was really compact and crowded. But there's always incense burning. There's always smells like something delicious is cooking. I didn't know what it was, but it always smelled nice. You can't always say that about every big city you go to. I thought most of the places I went to were wonderful. I thought most of the people I met, the Indonesians, and I stayed in mostly hostels. So I thought the people in the hostels were, for the most part, fabulous, except for taxi drivers, which are annoying generally any country you go to. I didn't have the greatest luck for the most part. For the most part, I had fun with every activity I went to. I did some snorkeling. I didn't get to go scuba diving. I had a few really bad seizures. Luckily, I had some people clean me up. I had a seizure, and this guy from the Netherlands was a medic or something, and he was cleaning me up, and he almost had to give me stitches right here. The same day, a Canadian gal was fixing me up. As well as epilepsy, I suffered from another pretty vicious disease called being really pale and being really sunburned. So I got really sunburned, and it was pain, like, going to sleep, taking my clothes off. It was just gross and awful all the time. Luckily, some of the hostels I went to had aloe that you could just, they were just growing outside, and you could just cut it, and somebody would just they could just ask, hey, I'll buy you a beer. Can you just wipe this on my back? And it was just fresh aloe. You could just wipe it right on your back. It's really something else. However, there was great food. The prices were great. Transportation was great. There were, cool things to do like snorkeling and scuba diving. If you could surf, I'm sure you could surf. However, there were some things, and that's what I wanted. That's what today's show without a name is all about. This red hat isn't a MAGA hat. This is a Guardians of the Galaxy hat. When people ask me what country I was from, this is the first time I went traveling since 2016, internationally. I traveled all over the place when Obama was a president, and didn't really think twice about it. But when Trump got elected, it was like a different story. Obama was president, I went to Europe and Japan, Korea, blah, 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 Australia, New Zealand, the USA, Iowa, whatever. But just going to Indonesia and talking to people was, you know, like you flipped a coin and you were talking to completely different people now. I would say, oh, where are you from? And it's like, oh, I'm from the U.S. And people just kind of look at me like, ugh. Like, whoa, what's wrong? Like, well, Donald Trump. Like, I didn't vote for him. Like, well, still. And, these are people from around the world, from Europe, North America, South America, all over Africa, all over Australia, New Zealand, all over Asia. So it was really something else to have so many people just be like, ugh, get away. I didn't meet very many Americans at all while I was in Bali or any of the other places. I went to some islands off the coast. So I would get into taxis, and the taxi driver would be like, are you an Obama guy or a Trump guy? I'd be like, well, for the most part, Indonesia is, I think, 90% Muslim, so I would just say Obama. Not because Obama is Muslim, but because Trump has said some pretty rude things about Muslims. So I remember a German girl was like, you guys elected a cruel, rude, ruthless leader, and Germans know cruel, rude, ruthless leaders. I was like, gosh, when is this going to end? Like, this is ridiculous. I remember my last day, I was packing up my stuff, and this lady was like, oh, where are you from? And I was like, well, I'm a teacher in Korea, but I'm from the U.S. And she was like, ugh. Oh, what's wrong? And she's like, well, originally I had a visa to come to the U.S., but once Trump came in, he revoked my visa. And I was like, why? She said, well, I live in a shithole. I'm from a shithole country. Oh. What can you say to that? I apologize on behalf of my dear leader, but I can't imagine that he actually cared. She accepted my apology, and I think I gave her, the old backpack that I didn't want or something. But I just couldn't believe the difference between the way people treated me now compared to the way people treated me when Obama was president. I can't imagine what it'll be like if he gets reelected, or what it would have been like if Hillary would have been elected. I generally don't like to get too political on the show, but geez, it was just very odd. Whenever I would be around somebody, people would just kind of take a step back, like, I want to be around the American. So I've decided to take a month-long break. I'm just not going to do any social media, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no MySpace. And I'm tired of all the arguing and all the angry memes. I'm just going to read a book, do my writing. I'll make videos. Maybe I'll post them, maybe not. But I just be quiet, put my head in the sand. Who cares? Alright? So, I hope you guys are, if you're angry at the US, I hope you know not all of us hate you. There are kind, good souls out there. Let's try to do some kind of good. Let's try and do some kind of good change. Let's try to just remove some of the hate in this world. Alright. So, you guys are the best. Thanks for watching. Comment or whatever. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.